Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. In the middle of the transition between fall and winter, you have this strange time of the year where it's sometimes warm, sometimes cold. Well, right now I'm taking advantage of the brief warm spell here on December 14th, where it gets up about 42 degrees. The ground thawed out. I was able to take the huge pile of dirt that I had pulled out, and then having to wait for the electrical company to come and approve my permit, let me close up the trench that I dug to put the cable in. I finally got that part done, and now I am at the point of trying to finish up the yard. So I took the tractor today and I plowed the trench full, and I think I've got most of that taken care of. There's still a little bit more to do. It's probably going to be springtime before I get it all done, but in the meantime I was able to move a lot of dirt today. Took out the 8N, put the 6-foot grater blade on it, pulled the dirt around, shoved it into the holes. I still got a little bit more to do, but I'm running out of daylight, and so I have to stop and go on back and do other things and come back and hit this again tomorrow. Huge pile of stones that I've collected. Goes back on the stone pile back in the back of the yard. But the main thing I'm going up against today, when I went to get the lawnmower out so I could pick up the leaves and debris from all this mess that I created with the grater blade, I got the lawnmower out of the lawnmower shed and brought it out, and then I thought, well, I'm going to get the snowblower and get the snowblower out and get it serviced and get it ready for snow, because we're going to have snow. I mean, it's December 14th. We're going to have snow. No question about it. And I always like to have the snowblower up in the garage, ready to go. Problem solved, everything checked out and approved, and life goes on. Well, when I pulled the snowblower out of the garage, the snowblower had a problem. It didn't want to start. So I took it over to the workshop and plugged it in with the it has a 110 volt starter on it. I pulled the rope a few times and decided I was just going to go get the extension cord and hook it up. Well, I did that, and when I got the mower out, or the snowblower out, and started trying to pull it over, I had mice jumping out of it. So I got 3 mice out of the inside of the snowblower, so that there wasn't any mice inside it anymore. They all jumped out and left, crawled back underneath the building. When I started it, smoke started pouring out of the muffler. Not actually out of the muffler, out of the shroud around the muffler. The snowblower has a shroud that collects the heat from the muffler and puts it in around the engine to keep the engine warm in the cold weather. Well, it looks like the mice tried to build a house in there. They do that on lawnmowers quite a bit. I've never had them do it on the snowblower before. But in any case, I was getting a lot of smoke out of the snowblower. So I shut that down, cleaned it up, got it into the workshop, and I decided I was going to put a bait trap in the lawnmower shed. And what I've done in the past is I've taken a 5-gallon bucket, put a cracker with some peanut butter on it and a stick going up the side of the bucket. So the mouse can climb up the stick, get into the bucket, but then can't get back out of the bucket. That way I can capture the mouse and dispose of him properly. Now this was a technique that I learned a long time ago. I had my vacuum cleaner out in the workshop, and I went to use the vacuum cleaner and found out that there was a mouse inside of it. He'd crawled up the hose and jumped inside the vacuum cleaner and couldn't jump back up to get out the hose. So after that, I set up a 5-gallon bucket in the workshop and caught a bunch of mice. It's been something I use every once in a while since then. Mostly I just put up snap traps because that way I don't have to have this 5-gallon bucket sitting in the way all the time. But this time I've got enough of them. I'm thinking that I don't want to be out there trying to catch them with a snap trap all day after day after day. So we're going to put up the buckets and see what happens.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.